Well, Sunday morning, we stayed on the jumping jack last night, got the razor. We're gonna kind of head up this 2-track road right here, get us a little closer to where we want to hike. We did a death hike yesterday. A lot colder than we expected. The wind started coming in from the north. Pretty chilly last night, but we drove the razor up a pretty tall mountain yesterday and hit some country. Sam and I both glassed up one shed each, and then I thought I had a Deadhead glassed up and I never could find it. That's probably one of my all-time worst hikes in the history of hiking. Just Manzanita, how steep it was, how rocky and cliffy it was, but we're gonna quit complaining and go hit some of this country. So stay tuned, hopefully we're picking some stuff up today.
Okay, so me and Trent are trying a different slope from yesterday, trying to have some better luck. I am stuck in this Manzanita stuff, and we're trying to work up this way, and I got a shed. Looks old and chalky, but it looks nice. We're trying to work our way to get up on top of this slope here, and it's just a mess, but I definitely have a shed right here. So let's see what we got. Looking at my trekking poles are stuck in all this Manzanita. I was just thinking to myself, I don't think elk are even in this. And then boom, shed. Really nasty stuff in here. Real old and chalky. Got a good looking shed right here. I'm not as old as I thought. There we go, check that out. Cool. All right, maybe we'll start getting into them. Pretty old and chalky, but it's got a ton of weight to it. A little chewed up on the back end here.
Well, Sam and I are hiking some of the shittiest stuff I've ever hiked. Looks like I got a pretty nice deadhead right here. Can't tell if it's I think it's a 6-point. It's not a giant, but it's pretty cool. Let me get this camera set up. I'll pick them up for you guys real quick. Not a giant. It's got good beams. Just super short fronts, short force. But at least it's some antlers finally. Pretty heavy.
So it's been probably a couple hours at least since I picked up that last and first shed. Just coming down, I found the other one way over there, worked my way up this south slope. Now I'm just kind of slowly coming down. Fortunately, I took the right line because I got a shed in front of me. It looks pretty old too, but I'm happy about it because I can even the weight out on my pack, which would be nice. But hopefully I'm kind of just on my hike back down, so maybe I'll run into some more random sheds on the way back out. Decent oh, yep, that's definitely rocky up here. Old chalky. This one's real old. Decent size. Busted off the back end. But I'll take it. That's number 2.
I didn't find any sheds. Just this 6-point deadhead. I think Sam said he found one old chalky shed or something. This area is pretty much a bust. But we're gonna go back to camp, get the jumping jack packed up, get the razor loaded, and get the hell out of here. All right, I got this thing loaded in the razor. And Sam is just barely making his way down from where we hiked up. He's still got probably at least another half an hour before he gets here. So I might post up in the shade and wait for him to get down here. Pretty young bull. Just weak fronts, super long beams. It's too bad, he would have been a freaking stud. Long beams. I mean, I haven't measured him, but I'm thinking he's at least 55 inch on that side, but we'll see.
All right, and so I'm trying to beat feet down to meet Trent. He's right up there, back at the razor. I'm trying to bail off this big steep nasty. That's what I just came off of. There's a little slot right here. But on the way up, we were curious why we weren't finding any deer antlers, and boom, coos shed. And not just a coos shed. Oops. A halfway decent one. Kind of old and chalky, but not overly old. Little consolation prize on the way down. I'll take it.
Well, we made it back to camp. We're gonna take down the jumping jack and then get the hell out of here. We got our asses kicked this weekend. But we'll take this down, get the razor loaded, then we'll get out of here. Got about a 3-hour drive home. Well, I got my pack loaded up. I got the XO K3 bag right there. I've got my Mountain Mafia 0 degree sleeping bag in this case. I've got a Gore-Tex liner on it. It did snow last night. I'm gonna hit some of this country up here. So in case it snows tonight, I've got a Gore-Tex liner just in case, might keep me dry. New system I'm running this year. This is the hard side hydration. They're 2 48-ounce, I guess you could call them Nalgene bottles. But they have what's called the hack. It's this hose. There's a quick disconnect right here. I've got a zip tied to my frame right there. Here's the nozzle, and they've got this sweet clip right here to clip onto the straps on your shoulders right there. So super sweet system. I've already used it. It works freaking awesome. In the wintertime, I don't drink a lot of water, so I barely even drink 48 ounces of water, but I'm planning on staying the night. This should be plenty good for the next 2 days. But 48 ounce, I've got 2 extra water bottles in there, and I've got a filter system that I always keep on me from Sawyer, just in case. I keep in that right pouch right there. But I got the truck parked, and I'm about to go start hitting some of these hills, so hopefully we're picking up some sheds soon. Well, been hiking for about an hour. Just sat down on this ridge. I've just been gaining some elevation. I just sat down to glass this backside, and I've got my first elk shed spotted across the way, kind of straight across from me. Kind of drops down, then comes up. My plan was to stay up high and hit this higher elevation, but it kind of looks like a hard white, so I might drop over there and pick it up real quick and then keep skirting that hill. But let me flip this around, see if you can see it. It's gonna be, I don't think you're gonna be able to see it, but it's right between these trees on the far side. I'll zoom in, but I don't know if you'll see it. It's like, oops, right over there. see some white tines over by those pines down there. Let them hike down, drop down, maybe stay at this pine elevation, loop around and go pick that thing up. Hopefully I can find it. Alright, finally see the shed I glossed up. Right down here below me. There's actually quite a bit of elk sign in here. I think it's a smaller shed. Doesn't look very big from up here. Just a little raghorn or something. Yep, tiny. Tiny, tiny. Kind of a goofy sucker. Got an extra or something. It's gonna be a cool bull when he gets older. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a tiny, tiny frame, short main beam. Probably 2-year-old shed. It's gonna be a cool bull when he's older. We'll have to keep an eye on him. It's hiked down from up there. Kind of hiking through this old burn. My first shed in quite a while. Old deer shed. But he's not a bad buck. Pretty cool. Strap him on the pack, and I think I'm gonna set up camp up over that way. Hopefully I'm finding some more sheds. Well, I just found this mule deer shed. It's not a shed, but it's a deadhead muley. That thing is super old. Super old. Just a little 2x3. I'm just gonna set this up in here. It's just gonna stay here. But I might be finally hitting the zone. If you find that hanging in a tree, you'll know where I was at. But let's see if we can't turn something up in here. It's starting to look pretty good. Well, I must have hit a little mule deer pocket or something. See another old shed in here. Super old and chalky. That thing's got to be 10, 12 years old. Probably just gonna stay here in a tree. I'm just keep side hilling in here. I think I'm gonna camp up here a ways, but I might jump up there and see what I can find. Well, I think this is gonna be my campsite for the night. Find a spot to sleep. I think I'm gonna build a fire ring right there. Probably have a fire tonight. But I'm gonna get some rocks, loop it in a circle, and then get my bedding ready. Well, this is camp. Got a sleeping pad, my Mountain Mafia bag, and I've got that Gore-Tex liner on it. Remember, if you guys want one of those Mountain Mafia sleeping bags, you can use the discount code ROGUE, ROGUE, and it'll save you 15%, I believe. But I got a Peak Refuel mill heating up. I got some water in there. I forgot my jet boil. So I'm hoping that'll, maybe if I just, normally it heats up in 10 minutes. If I take 15 to 20, I'm trying to heat it up from the outside. But those are the only 2 sheds I kept for the day. Pretty slow. It's gonna be a long night. Got a little firewood, cooking some dinner, and then tomorrow gonna hit some of the steep country, and hopefully we're picking up some sheds. I don't know how much more I'll film tonight, but I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, I survived the night. Slept warm. It started snowing early this morning. I had just enough firewood to kind of keep going all night. You saw that big pile. I burned all that last night, but looks like we got some snow on some of the high stuff up there. I can't really tell, but the plan is to go up over this way and make my way back, and hopefully I pick up a few more sheds. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult. I'm hoping the sun will come out and kind of melt this off so we can see some antlers a little bit easier, but probably roll up my bed. I've got a Peak Refuel Meal granola sitting there. I don't know how cold it is. I'm hoping all my water and stuff's not frozen. It's at that temperature where you shake your bottle and then it starts turning to slush. But I'm gonna warm up a little bit. I got my boots on. I'm pretty much ready. I'm roll up my bedding and then we're gonna get out of here. Oh, that's how close I got to that antler before I even saw it. That thing is old, chalky, and completely burned out. But I'm hoping to find something else in here. I'm gonna keep side hill and see what I turn up. Well, here's the truck. Pretty uneventful hike. Only found those 6 sheds. Almost everything old and chalky. But at least I'm getting my legs in shape for one weekend closer to finding some browns. I'm gonna get everything loaded in the truck and get the hell out of here.
Okay, came off of the ridge way from the top. That whole south slope was really good, but no sheds. That's the north slopes on the other side. I'm gonna work down and around. Basically just gonna get to the bottom of this. And then I gotta go way up there, go up that face, but I did see an elk shed. It's right there. First one looks like a brown, hopefully. I started hiking at 7. It's almost 2 o'clock. So it's been a long, long day. Super steep. There it is. Looks like a little raghorn. Yep. Oh, raghorn 6. Just found that shed right there. I started walking this line because I got to get to that slope to work to the top after those bulls were this morning. But working this line, I've got a shed right there. It's probably the match to this one. Looks like a smaller one, which this one is. Try to get down this steep slope. There's a fall here. Definitely looks like the match. got those browns down there. I've got a long ways to go, but it looks like I might have a side-by-side set right up there and there. Let's see what we got. They look nicer than the ones I have, but they look like they might be some hard whites. Might finally be getting into the hook shed zone. But I still gotta get out of here, and I've got a long ways to go. Okay. Very rocky. Should be able to see him left and right of that tree in front of me. Maybe hard whites, maybe. Interesting bull. There they are, side by side. There we go. Now to get him out of here.
Well, there's a better look at that deadhead. I colored him up a little with some coffee grinds. Just a young bull. Really cool back end, just super long beams. Pretty wide. A lot of guys had a hard time passing up this bull. He just needed a few more years to get a little bit bigger. Thanks for watching this week's video, guys. We got a lot of content coming your way. We've been on quite a few trips. I did hurt my foot one weekend out with Cody, so I didn't go hiking the very next weekend. But we've got quite a bit of footage coming up, and then obviously brown season's just starting, so stay tuned for that. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to the channel. We'll see you guys in a few.